Today we're going to talk about the top 5 ways to make your retirement money last. Coming up next. Hi everybody, my name is Dee Burks, and on this channel we talk a lot about different ways to save money, declutter and downsize, get ready for that wonderful retirement that you're going to create, and this is part of it. We all worry about, am I going to have enough money? Is my money going to last? Is my retirement going to be enough? What about inflation? We have so many questions. But there are some very simple, basic things you can do to not only enhance your retirement, but ensure the money that you have or the retirement that you're drawing lasts as long as possible. Now, number one, when we're talking about making retirement money last, is to reduce your biggest expenses. And for all of us, this is usually housing, where we live, if we live in our family home, if we downsize, if we move to a retirement community, whatever it is, looking at housing is going to be your biggest way to save money for most people. Maybe for you that means getting your mortgage paid off. Maybe it means downsizing and moving to a condo or moving to a senior living apartment that is much less expensive. Whatever it means to you, that is the number one way most of us save money, is lowering expenses. It was the number one way I saved money when I moved from the city, was to sell the house I had lived in for years, raised my kids in, and moved to a much less expensive area and paid cash for a very small house that I'm currently living in. It was wonderful and has been a tremendous money saver in every single way. And let's talk about the other ways. When you are able to downsize or you are able to reduce the square footage that you live in, especially if you're one person or two people, that's easy to do. It also saves you on utilities. It saves big on utilities in a lot of cases, especially if you can move to a newer place that's very energy efficient or has energy efficient appliances. You pay way less in utilities. That was a big savings for me too. When we're talking about reducing those basic expenses, we're also talking about saving money on transportation. Do you have a vehicle that's paid for? That's a great way to save money. Used vehicles have gotten really expensive here lately, but whether you drive a used vehicle or a new vehicle, having something that is paid for allows you to save a lot more money. You also want to shop around for discounts on insurance, both housing insurance as well as transportation insurance. There are a lot of discounts for older people, so you want to be sure and take advantage of those. When you're talking about those basic costs, here again, moving to a lower cost area where your taxes are less, your expenses are less is a big one, if possible for you. But reduce those basic expenses. Number 2, and I talk about this all the time, ad nauseum, I'm sure some of you work as long as you can, at least part-time. Work is not a bad thing. Many people in retirement, especially if they take a year or two off, and that's great, take a year or two off and enjoy your retirement, but people get bored. They want something to do. And it's a great thing if you want to work maybe seasonally, somewhere fun, a ski resort, or doing something you enjoy. If you want to work just as needed to fill in for other people, it doesn't have to be something big time and cerebral for you to really enjoy it and earn extra money. Having just a little bit of cash flow and being able to vary your cash flow and earn more when you need it, should there be an unexpected expense, is huge in retirement because you're not having to draw down that money you otherwise would. You're able to keep up with your expenses, you're able to pay down your debts, you're able to put money back even, sometimes depending on what you're doing, and that can be a great way to continue to enjoy working, because some of us really do enjoy working. We do. There's things we love to do, while adding to that retirement income. And number 3 is really about cash flow investments. And let's talk about this, because a lot of times I lump these in with semi-retirement, but they are actually different. If you have a place on your property where you can have an Airbnb, Airbnb includes things like you can rent out space in your camper, you can rent out a room in your house, you can rent out a room above your garage. There are so many options available for you to earn extra income by renting out a place in your home or around your property. All of those are great options if that's what you choose to do, because they earn cash flow. It's not entirely passive, of course. You have to do a little input for it, but that's true with everything. There are very few things that are entirely passive. I tell teachers all the time, put up some courses on teachable.com or on Skillshare. Earn a little extra money from the things you've done your whole life. All those things you know. There are many, many ways to earn cash flow. Maybe you want to invest in a little hobby farm. You want to start selling at a farmer's market, or you do breads or jams or jellies or something like that. Something fun you enjoy, you can also earn a little bit from, and it's only when you want to do it. All of those things are wonderful because they produce cash flow. They're not jobs where you're working for someone else and you have to show up. They are investments or business ideas that you're doing yourself and you're in complete control of. That is a great way to earn extra to add to your retirement income. Number 4 is choose to stay healthy. You know, a lot of times when we get into retirement, I don't want to say we get lazy. We just are kind of done with cooking every night. You know, it's really easy just to grab something on the go or to eat cereal for dinner or whatever it is. And we really don't pay attention to what we're eating sometimes and how it's affecting our health. And one of the things that goes by the wayside also is exercise. We don't exercise as much because we're not moving around like we did when we were working. We moved all the time, you know. So being able to really focus on your health, to understand what you eat, maybe grow some of your own food, all of those things contribute to keeping you healthy. One of the biggest risks to your retirement are health costs. People think, oh, I'll get to Medicare, everything will be great. It's not free, y'all. You still have to pay premiums for Medicare and all the different parts of Medicare if you choose to take advantage of those. They cost money. You still have copays. You still have coinsurance. You still have prescription costs. All those things cost money. And it's one of the biggest expenses people incur when they are retired. So taking care of yourself and ensuring you are as healthy as possible is one of the best ways to prevent health care costs for you to spin out of control. So it's got to be a priority when you retire that you really take care of yourself. And the last one, get rid of debt. If you have not retired yet or you're thinking about retirement, get rid of that debt. And also, address those behaviors that got you into debt. When you are on a fixed income, especially when you get to the point where you don't have the option to work anymore, that debt can absolutely become overwhelming because it gains and it gains and it gains, and it's very hard for you to make any headway, especially on things like credit card that are high interest. I always tell everyone, you have to think of debt as a thief. Debt is a thief that allows the past, the things you bought in the past, to steal your future, to steal your present. It makes you miserable when all of your money is going out the door to pay for things that you bought years ago sometimes. And you may not even be benefiting from them anymore. But it will absolutely steal your peace of mind. So as you have the option, whether you're semi-retired already or you're about to retire, get rid of as much debt as you absolutely can. If that means you work an extra year or two, so what? The peace of mind will be worth it. If you can get rid of that debt and come into retirement with very little debt or completely debt-free, you will be much more successful in the long run, and your retirement funds will last way longer than other people who are still trying to get a hold and pay off that debt. Now, if you've enjoyed this video, please click subscribe, and I'll see you next time.